Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Watches The Cell. This is a movie that I watched way back when it first came out, and it made me a Tarsem fan. Not a big enough Tarsem fan, though, however, to ever buy this on DVD. I don't, at least I don't think I ever owned it on DVD. But I definitely followed Tarsem's career after this, especially once I saw Immortals. The Fall came out between The Cell and Immortals, and that was a pretty cool movie. Really enjoyed that. So when I heard about Immortals coming out, I was really excited. I went to the theater and saw that and was blown away. I love the Immortals. But it all started with The Cell. This came out in 2000, and I remember getting this from the local video store and watching it when it came out and really loving it. It was a very stylistic, almost a fairy tale type movie. This movie reminds me of Ridley Scott's Legend, the Tom Cruise movie with Tim Curry playing the Darkness and that awesome like makeup of him with the horns and all the red skin and everything. I kind of wonder if these two movies aren't kind of the same storyline. But I think I'm gonna watch that next. I'm gonna dig. I have Legend. I'm gonna dig that out, and I think I'm gonna watch that next because I kind of want to compare the storylines between these two. I think they might be kind of similar. We'll see. But this one stars Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, Vincent D'Onofrio, and a few other people. Dylan Baker is in this, who a couple videos ago I did Trick or Treat, and Dylan Baker starred in that movie. And I mentioned he has quite a impressive IMDb list of credits. That guy's worked for a long time and in a lot of stuff, and he's in this as well. That was a nice surprise to see him in here. This is Arrow Video's release of it. Came out last year, I think, in 2024, 4K. I was a little disappointed with the picture quality. It seemed kind of grainy to me, but then again, this movie I think was trying to maybe cash in a little bit on the type of movies that were popular then, like Seven. Seven came out in 1995, a few years before this, and kind of was kind of like the vanguard in this glut of movies that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, that had to do with like serial killers. Maybe even this movement started with Silence of the Lambs. Now that I think about it, goes all the way back to then. But really, really got hammered home with Seven, and this movie feels like this is, it came out in that time frame, and it feels like it kind of was tapping into that same vibe, because Vincent D'Onofrio plays a serial killer, and Vince Vaughn is a detective, and he's trying to solve the case because Vincent D'Onofrio captures women and kills them. And there's a girl that's been captured, and they have to find out where Vincent D'Onofrio's character has hidden her. Meanwhile, he has a brain injury that's made him catatonic. Now, Jennifer Lopez works for this experimental psychotherapy technical group where they can, by wearing these suits that look like they're from Dracula, like they're from Bram Stoker's Dracula, they put these suits on, and it enables them to go into like a patient who's having psychological problems. It enables them, these researchers, J-Lo here, to go into their minds and help them figure out their problems and cure them, hopefully. So this is kind of a last ditch effort for Vince Vaughn's character to figure out where Vincent D'Onofrio has hidden his latest victim before she dies. And he gets J-Lo to help him and go inside of the mind of the serial killer to try and figure out where his latest victim is hidden and rescue her before she's killed. It's a really fun movie. It's very intense in spots because of the subject matter, child abuse, and of course serial killers, and why they do what they do and what they get out of doing what they do. So it's movie is definitely for adults, but it's a bit of a fantasy for adults as well. The imagery in this is really great, and that's one of the things that Tarsem is known for, and why I appreciate Tarsem's work is because of his camera work. He's got a very cool, unique, colorful visual style. And that was kind of why I was a little disappointed in this 4K release. I haven't seen the movie in 20 years, and in my memory it seemed like a lot more bright and vivid. But I think that it's the picture in 4K. I was a little disappointed because the colors are muted and the picture's grainy. But I think that is probably because, like I said, they're kind of going for a 7 vibe. A darker, grittier kind of look to the film. So that's probably why it looks the way it looks. But anyway, I mean, it still looks good, but just not as good as my memory portrayed it for me. So watching it, I was just kind of like, I thought this was going to be more colorful, brighter. But that in hindsight, that really wouldn't work for this type of grim, gritty, dark movie. But this is a nice release. I watched the film. There's one of the special features is a feature-length interview with Tarsem, and I just started watching that. I got to finish watching that. But it's a very nice release with a slipcase cover, nice DVD case. Very nice release. Tons of special features. Highly recommend this movie to adults. No kids watching this, please. But I highly recommend this movie to fans of like Seven, Silence of the Lambs, and that sort of thing. There were some other ones like The Bone Collector. There was a bunch of movies that came out back then in the late 90s, early 2000s that were kind of this genre. So if you were into that stuff and missed The Cell, go back and watch The Cell. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of faces you'll recognize in it in the cast, especially J-Lo, Vince Vaughn, Vincent D'Onofrio. So great Arrow release. Happy with this one. Anyway, if you got anything to say about it, please comment it down below. I do videos on reading my Marvel comic collection in order, where I'm reading my collection in release date order and doing a video on each issue that I read. I also do a lot of physical media reviews like this. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, like, and share this video, please. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.